Okay, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Derrek Ribera Show. I'm your host, Derrek, the nice guy, Ribera. Anyway, I turned the AC off, so because I'm only recording the first 30 minutes of the episode 24 today, because I've already recorded the last 24 minutes. I've already recorded the whole thing, but I was like, man, I don't like the first 30 minutes of that podcast, dude. I really don't like it. So this is actually going to record the first 30 minutes or so, or however long I'm going to go on this part of this episode. Literally, just know the last 30 minutes of this episode was recorded a couple days ago. Just know that, okay? That's the only way I can tell you. But anyway, I turned the air conditioner off, so hopefully it won't be this won't be very long, you know? Because I do want to turn it back on, but it's that time of the year again, man. You know, where you can turn the AC off for a little bit. Still like 89 degrees outside, you know. That's the high today is 89, dude. That is a cold day for us down in Texas, you know what I'm saying? That is fall. That is fall. That's what that is. That is fall. You ever heard of fall? That's what that is. 89 degrees. Sometimes 90 in some places. The crazy thing about this microphone is it can pick up a lot of things. Like, it's literally picking up my neighbor, just kill his wife over there, dude. That's what it's picking up right now. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, guys, man, dude, like, it's been crazy, bro. So anyway, I wanted to re-record the first half of this podcast because I was not feeling the other half. I just seemed like it just was not really one that I wanted to feel or be a part of, and I decided to re-record it. You know what I'm saying? And so hopefully you guys are doing good, man. I hope everything's going your way today. You know, on this beautiful Friday, man. It's such a it's supposed to be raining, but anyway, yeah, it feels good outside, man. Everybody's like, it's starting to cool down. Don't you love when everybody's like that's how it is out here in Texas, man. Like, people are like, hey, man, it's starting to cool down, bro. And you're like, yeah, I guess it is. And everybody's like, the cool weather's coming this weekend. It'll be like 80 degrees. You're like, oh, man, that is great. Like, 80 degrees is a dream right now, you know. And, dude, I'm literally excited for this weekend. I'm literally excited because I want to make my return to jiu-jitsu. I'm actually going to call... I'm actually waiting on a call from a caseworker right now for a job that I'm trying to get. And hopefully things are going to look up, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it is, man. I feel like I'm raising myself out of a depression that's like been going on for too long. You know, and it reminds me of that in Dragon Ball Super when Goku goes Ultra Instinct for the first time, and it's like everybody's counting them out, you know. And they're like, yeah, well, you know, I guess Goku's done for. And then all of a sudden, you know, and that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like I'm lifting myself out of this depression of like just crap, you know. And life is not the best, but like it's like literally I'm starting to see that it's worth living. It's a lot of things, but it's not like, you know, it's not too bad. But I'm like, dude, like, because I lost my ambition for a long time, for like last couple months, and I'm really wanting to bring it back, and I'm starting to feel it come back, and I'm starting to want to make this career move, and I don't know if I'm going to or what's going to happen, but like, you know, and if I fail, I fail, but at the same time, it's like I want to make this career move, and I want to and don't get me wrong, I love my current job, I do. It's just that I need to step it up, you know. So yeah, and I'm starting to realize that. I'm starting to see that, you know what I'm saying, without people actually telling me I need to do that. I'm starting to actually see that. I'm like, whoa. And then now it's like, it's just time for me to like dig myself out of this depression and stuff. And, you know, and for a while I was out of it, you know, you come in and out of depression a lot. And I believe I was just like, I don't know what triggered it. I think it was that, you know, earlier this year, how I was talking to somebody, and, you know, she did exactly what every woman does, and you know what I mean. But like I've learned, guys. I've learned that you can't let other people hold you down and stuff, you know. And I'm also learned that there's a lot of how do I say it, man? There's like the devil would send people to test you. You feel me? And I believe, like, and I'm not saying this person's a devil sent person, but what I'm saying is like, the devil works through people too. You know what I mean? And like and I should have just kept my head in jiu-jitsu. I should have kept my head in the church, and because that's where my head's going back to, and like I notice, like, when I'm going to church and when I'm training and when I'm like, I'm the happiest guy in the world. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but I'm very happy. Like last summer, for instance, we were training like every morning and a few night times, and then I was working, and then I was going to church every Sunday and every Wednesday, and I was like, getting involved in that community too, and I was just so happy, even though I was like run down because I was working nights a lot. And I remember that, you know what I'm saying? And like, I think with all that going on, I think that's the key to happiness, is finding hobbies, and also, being part of something much greater than yourself. And I was like, because I have these shirts that always say, I don't need nothing but Jesus and jiu-jitsu. And that's the truth for me, man. I don't know about anybody else, but like, that is literally like, when I'm training, I'm not the best at either one. I don't know every Bible verse. I can't do every jiu-jitsu move. I'm not as good as the rest of the guys are, but it feels good to be a part of something that's so awesome. And I need to get myself back in there, and that's what, like, and I've been going to church a lot lately. Last couple of weeks I've been going to church. I went last Saturday. I went to men's prayer breakfast, and that was the first time I went to that. And like I said, dude's been trying to invite me there for, man, like over a year, and I just always had an excuse. And finally I went, I'm gonna check this out, man. And that was so fun. First you pray for a couple of minutes and stuff, you usually about 30 minutes or so, and you know what I mean? And you go to the church, you pray, and then, all the men, we go out to eat and stuff. And it's like, we had a good time. It was, I was laughing. I was having a good time. And it went by too fast for me, but it was pretty awesome, dude, just to get to know some guys I go to church with, and also like just to be a part of something, like that. And it was pretty cool, dude. It really was. And I don't know how to explain it, and I'm like, dude, I gotta start doing stuff like this more often. Instead of going out to the club, instead of going partying, instead of getting drunk at some bar, I think, maybe my life would feel a lot better if I went to, men's prayer breakfast or jiu-jitsu or something like that. I think if I focused more on that, which I was at that one point, I would be a lot, everything would be a lot cooler. It seemed like life was fun, when you're doing stuff like that. But yeah, so that's kind of like an update on me, pretty much, but like, I'm just like, I'm hoping that other people find that as encouragement as well. And, you know what I mean? Just not like to mope around all the time, and a lot of events happen, but I totally understand, but like, yeah, I just cannot wait to get back in the gym. I just cannot wait to go back to church. I can't wait to, be a part of that stuff. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about a few things, what I'm saying? We're going to talk about, just kind of like just digging yourself out of the depression or whatever, and of course the second half I'll talk more about the news and stuff like that. That's how the NFL football team, NFL halftime show, what's going on with that, and and just bear with me. Dang, what's crazy? It's like when you lose your Zens or like nicotine, period, you get like really suspicious of your great friends. You ever notice that? Like I'm like even though these dudes would never steal from me, I'm like, I wonder if they have my Zens. They better not have my Zens. Oh man, if they find my Zens, someone's gonna probably take one. Oh man, what am I gonna do? And you get these like weird thoughts. You're like, and I hate that because it's kind of fiendish behavior. And I don't like fiendish behavior. If anybody knows me knows I don't like fiendish behavior. Like, I have like, to me, one of the worst addictions out there is vaping, and a lot of my friends be vaping. And I'm like, dude, like, like one of my friends the other day was like, oh, my heart's beating faster and my blood pressure's up. And I'm like, dude, quit vaping, dude. And then they send me a video of them vaping. They're like, you can't stop me. It's like, dude, like, when did that become cool? When did vaping become cool? And I'm not trying to hate on people that vape, because I think, you know, it is what it is. You know, I think it's a female thing, honestly. But, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, because you're a man, smoke cigarettes. If you want to smoke something, smoke cigarettes. Smoke a cigarette. You know, that's my advice. And I know I was just talking about how great God is and stuff and jiu-jitsu, but I don't think you should do either one. But, like, I do Zens, you know, but, like, I'm like, smoke cigarettes. Come on, guys. But, nah, don't do that either. If you're a kid and you're listening to this, I know, like, some of my nephews and stuff listen to this, and I'm like, bro, don't smoke cigarettes. That's stupid. But, I mean, like, but definitely don't vape. You know, you don't want to be, you're not a tough guy when you're vaping. You know, you're sitting there, no one thinks you're tough when you're hitting a vape. No one. I'm telling you, bro. No one thinks you're tough. Like, you know, there's like nowadays, you're literally like chilling. You see all these little gangster kids and they're all vaping and they walk by you and you're like, oh, watermelon sugar high. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this, dude? But it's like, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, but like, people have to, like, when you tell them about how bad vaping is, they will jump to the defense of that vape like there's no tomorrow. And I kind of see why. I guess I do that with my Zens too. I'm like, dude, those are my Zens. Don't touch them. But no, like, but they'd be like, no, you don't understand. Vaping makes me look cool. But every time, like, you can never hit a vape and look cool. Like, if you're a dude, especially if you're a heavy roller like me, you can not hit you can roll in the gym, you can, like, get in side control, you can stop people from breathing like that way. But, like, at the end of the day, when you leave the gym and you hit a vape, every manly thing you just done becomes gay. I'm kidding, but no, like, I'm serious though. Like, I mean, like, you know, like, you can, because I used to vape and I'd look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, dude, I look like a homosexual. And I'm not trying to hate on gay people. I'm not doing that. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. I already got attacked earlier this year. You know, this dude was wanting to get me fired from my job, you know, and just for making a comment, you know, and just for making a joke. That's the craziest part. It's a joke, you know. It wasn't even like, and people take jokes way too seriously, but that's all this is. It's just me poking fun at my friends that vape. That's all it is. And it's nothing against them, nothing against anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like that's like another thing too. Like, I don't know, man. I've just never been really much of a big fan of vaping. Even when I did it, I was like, this is like, you never feel good. You know what I'm saying? I never felt good when I was doing that. I was more like, I was like sitting around just like, you know, just like you're sitting around the house and you're hitting the vape and you're just like, oh, you know, like, but like, I'm not trying to hate on it, because I got friends and family that vape and stuff, but I'm just saying, like, but like, it's just funny how people come so defensively to their vapes. Like, they will stop a 20-year-old friendship over a freaking $20 vape, you know? No, you don't understand. I like the smell of this and it's better for you. You remember that, like, when it first came out, I remember, like, when it first started coming, vaping became big, everybody said, this is better for you. And I went to the vape shop and bought me a vape and everything, and I was like, this is going to be better than cigarette smoking, and my friend Marcus was like, dude, that looks stupid. And he never did it. Like, he was the guy that never touched vaping at all. Like, I wish I was one of those guys. Like, I remember, because every time there's a trend, sometimes I like to try it out, and I know it sounds fake of me, you know, and like, I think that's some fake shit too, but at the same time, it's like, I always want to try it out to try to see if it's better than the last trend, because the last trend was smoking cigarettes, and you went to vaping, and then you know, now it's Zens, and, you know, but it's like, I went back to smoking cigarettes for a long time, because, you know, vaping was not really doing it for me. But I remember, like, all my friends were just like, oh my god, you're vaping. And it messes up your lungs more, because it's pretty much just vapor, you know. But apparently it's worse for you. You know, what a coincidence. But, like, you know, and I mean, what a coincidence. Hitting a machine, a little battery operated machine, and inhaling is worse for you than cigarettes. How convenient. But a lot of people, I think a lot of us did it just because, you know, it's like, it was faster than a smoke break. Because when you're at work, you just take one hit. Okay, cool, I'm good. But, like, now, like, me, I just put a Zen in my mouth, and it lasts in my mouth for about, you know, 2 hours, sometimes maybe an hour, and I'll just, you know, work with that instead of taking a smoke break. That's the only thing I miss about smoking cigarettes, is the smoke break itself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I miss having the smoke break. I miss, like, like, oh, man, this is my excuse to have a break, and like, especially when I wash dishes for a living, I go outside and smoke a cigarette and, soaking wet, and you just, that was one of the best feelings in the world, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. And like you get your little Newport 100, you know what I'm saying, and smoking it slow. It smokes slow anyway, so you're just like, whew. They're like, Derek, we need you back in here. We need you on the line. Whoa, whoa, and you're like, ugh. But it was always like, especially when you worked in food service, the best thing in the world was like to have a cigarette afterwards. Just a cigarette, And the vaping kind of took that away a little bit because you can just take 2 hits and you can go back inside. But like, it's like, dude, whatever happened to cigarette break, And it reminds me of like, like when I worked at like, let's say when I worked at Crazy Gals, you know what I'm saying? And I was sitting outside and I'm just smoking a cigarette and just, watching the rain come down. And you're like, dude, today has been stressful. And I still got a long day to go. Because you'd work like 10-hour days sometimes. And it's like, dude. Or you'd work a split shift. And that's the first thing you want to do is when you're walking home is just light a cigarette, And that's what I do also when I worked at Twins. But then I quit, But what I was trying to get at is like, dude, like I don't understand how people just defend those vapes. They will like literally like get like they're like a possum caught in a trap. And they're with their babies, and they're, just they're ready to attack you if you take just say something about that vape to one of your friends and see what happens. You see how good friends they are to you. Then I'll tell you that much. That's all I said to my friend was, I was like, dude, maybe you should slow down on that, bro. And it's like, you can't tell me what to do. You can't control me. And just sending me snaps of them hitting the vape. They're like, yes, man, it feels good. They're holding their chest and everything, can't breathe. And, you're like, dude, chill out, bro. Like, I literally fear for your life right now. But I really do. It feels weird not having the fan in the background. I kind of want the fan in the background. Even though a lot of people complain about it. A lot of people also complained about the noise of the Heavy Rollers podcast this week. And the only thing I can say about that, man, is like, look, dude, I'm sorry, dude. Okay, we were outside, and what had happened was we left the microphones turned all the way up. And that's what happens usually when you leave the microphones turned all the way up. But it was a cool vibe though. It was like one of those things like, where like it was like that was a good day. That was the day I actually realized, like, I'm really digging myself out of this. I'm really becoming, I'm on the way to becoming the man that I'm supposed to become. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm definitely gonna get myself out of this. And I realize it now. I'm becoming Ultra Instinct Derek. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because that's what it reminds me of that part when they're like and Goku just starts powering up and he starts standing up and he's like, look, it's like, dude, now it's on, boy. Now it's on. Y'all ain't got nothing to prove to me. I ain't got nothing to prove to y'all, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I can do now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the way it goes. You gotta you're like, dude, oh yeah. But I was but like, and that's just the way I've been feeling lately. I mean, even at work, I'm starting to have more pep in my step again. I'm starting to and it's crazy. Like, I get a lot of stuff done now and stuff like that instead of just being like, moping around, looking down at the ground and talking to people and stuff. And now actually when a customer asks me, how you doing? And I say, great. I'm actually doing great, because no one wants to, you don't, like when you're in customer service, you don't ever want to tell people how you really feel. But now, like, I actually tell them how I really feel. Yes, I'm doing great, bro. I'm cool. I'm chilling. So, like, like I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be, that dude again. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of sitting around moping around like, dang, when's my death gonna come? I'm like, dude, I'm really happy to be alive, and I hope that my friends can feel the same way, and stuff like that. But like, what else were we going to talk about today? There's a few things I want to talk about. It was just, like I said, it was cool, man. It was cool. It's just cool to feel that way again. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think it's this time of the year too, because like for some reason every fall I start to have like a revolution. I start to think, man, you know what, dude? Like why should we wait till the first of the year to change? Or to set goals, you know what I'm saying? I think the best part about life is setting small goals to lead to a bigger goal. And so, like, like my small goals is like, man, just get back into class. Right now, get back into class and enjoy it. Be happy to be there, and I'm always happy to be there. But like I think that's the coolest release is when you get on the mat and it's like, bro, like nothing matters. Like, what I'm saying? My favorite part about jiu-jitsu was literally the community. It wasn't about learning stuff. Well, it kind of was. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's kind of cool to know that you could literally break some dude's arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty crazy. Like when a customer's getting rowdy with me at work. Like the one time this guy came in and he was like screaming and hollering at me, dude. And I'm just like looking at him like, okay. And I'm thinking in my head, I took him down like 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Because like once you start to like learn a martial arts or a hobby like that, you think about using it in everyday life, which I don't want to use it on anybody. But it's like, unless we're at the mat and we're at the gym, we're having a good time. But like, what I'm saying? Like because like I love like I love going to the gym and stuff like that. But it's like you don't have like having like this customer screaming in my face has no idea what I could do to him if I wanted to. If I wanted to lose my job. And like it's like, dude, like I'm like last time I was there, I was working on takedowns and stuff like that, and I'm like, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just sitting there like watching this guy one day. Like he was in there, I was at the Granite Show store and he was in there screaming at me one day because and then come to find out he messed up. He was, and I was just keeping my calm and keeping my cool. And I was on the phone at the same time with my buddy Chris in Florida, and he's like, dude, you're just keeping your cool so well. He goes, man, I would have slapped that dude already. I'm like, bro, I can hurt this guy. Like you don't like it, that's one thing good about having a hobby like martial arts is like you're like, I can demolish this poor man, any of these people, but you don't want to. It's really weird because even as a white belt, I'm like, man, I'm like I have enough skill to like literally just if I take this dude to the ground, he's done. He's going to have to like try to knock me out before I get to him, like Alex Pereira did. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's the only way I think you can beat like a guy that wrestles or something like that is literally like is punch them before they get to you kind of thing, like keep your distance and just hit them. Like, because if this guy's coming at you, like, let's say, you know what I mean? Like let's say I'm at work and somebody's like acting crazy and trying to hurt somebody. I will have to use my skill to try to hold this dude down, right? And I'm like, dude, what if I hurt this guy? And then I start to kind of feel bad for him. But I don't ever try to hurt anybody, But it's just like, dude, it's kind of humbling. You're just like, because the whole time he was like bitching at me, I just smiled. I'm just like, and I just started like kind of giggling. And he's like, what are you laughing about? It's like nothing, dude. But that happened a while back. But that's the way it goes, man. I kind of wish I was into jiu-jitsu back when I was in Killeen, because then, like, things have been, a little different. I feel like, I mean, like, it's just awesome, man. And that's why I always tell people to find a good hobby, man, to make because like, if a man has a good hobby, bro, like he can, and I talk about this all the time on this podcast, but it's like he will be so happy. And that you won't have to like engage in other people's hatred. You know what I mean? Like when a while back, one of my friends told me, you changed. And it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit because but at the same time, he knew me back when I was like living in Cottonwood. He knew me back when I was like, drunk all the time, when I was sleeping in the yard, when I was pissing myself, when I was just a nervous wreck. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how the heck I survived. Because this was every night we'd get drunk. I mean, every night, 7 days a week, sometimes 6-7 days a week, I'd get wasted till the point where I'm at 2-3 o'clock in the morning just throwing up outside my house or throwing up in the toilet. And I remember one time I came in and I just like sat in we had 2 living rooms, and I sat in the living room and I fell asleep, and I wake up and everybody's getting ready for school and stuff, and they're like, dude, what are you doing, dude? I mean, you got wasted on us Monday night, bro. You know what I mean? And this dude's like, you changed, bro. You think you're better than everybody. But all my real friends, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to one of my oldest friends, Jacob, and You know what I'm saying? Like he's like really cool. You know what I'm saying? He's like hell yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he's pretty cool to talk to and stuff like that. And a lot of people and a lot of my newer friends from jiu-jitsu and church also are like, you're a good guy, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but if y'all knew me 5-6 years ago, you probably wouldn't too much care for me. You know, and it's not that I was a bad person. I was just, you know, like all I cared about was partying and stuff like that. And I think that's what that guy was saying. He's like, you don't want to go out no more. You don't want to do nothing, bro. And I was like, bro, you gotta understand. People change. It's not. And he called me. He said he kind of indicated that I was a fake person, and I'm like, bro, people change, bro. People go through changes. People change for the better. It's like you know, you don't want to be that drunk all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I know I don't. I really don't. I don't want to be that drunk person all the time. I don't want to be that guy that's wasted, stumbling around and stuff like that. I just want to be myself, and I want to like enjoy life, you know. And it's crazy because these days I'm more sober than I am drunk. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, like this last week, I had like maybe 2 shots. You know what I'm saying? But like I used to have to prove to the world that I was an alcoholic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why I had to do that. I don't know what made me possess me to think that was cool. Like, I'd be on Snapchat, morning beer before work, you know, and drinking like freaking a big, like 2 or 3 of those big old, like, you know, 24-ounce beers and stuff. And it's like, dude, what is wrong with you? You know, and back when that dude knew me, I literally would like wake up in the morning and pour myself a glass of vodka and put tea in it to try to mask that I was already drinking. And then by noon, I'd just be wasted, dude. And then I had to be at work at 5 o'clock, so I have to go to sleep and wake up at 4 and then run to work, you know, because my job was literally a 5-minute walk away from my house. But, and that's the only way I do it. And I come into work and I be hungover all the time. And they're like, dude, why are you hungover at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, dude? What is wrong with you? And so, like, you know, a lot of people get scared of you when you change. They get scared of the man you're becoming because they want to stay. They're on the same level. They're still on that same level. A lot of people don't ever reach a higher level in life because of their addictions, or because of, like, you know, because of what they think that's corny, bro. You're corny, bro. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You're going to church, you know, like, and stuff like that. So it's like, dude, why do you care more about that jiu-jitsu stuff than you do going to the bar? Why do you know? It's like, well, because like, it's a sense of community. It's a sense of like awesomeness, you know. It's a sense of like, you know, like learning something new, like that you never thought you can do. That's what it is. It's like, you know, because you can easily be that drunk stoner, you know, dopehead walking down the road, or you could be that dude that's like just killing it, you know what I mean? Like, in life in general, just by finding a hobby, it helps people, like, you know, change it to the man or woman they're supposed to be. You know, that's my opinion, because like that really got to me when they said I changed. You know, I was like, yeah, I changed for the better. It's like, yeah, but you're boring now. You know, it's like, and it indicated that, like, you know, you should always be the same person no matter what. It's like, yes, in a way, but no, because like you don't want to be the same guy you were at 16. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that same dude. But you want to be more of a grown man. You've grown and maturing into a person. Like, a lot of people don't ever mature. And I got to realize that too. Like, what I'm realizing is everybody's in their own walk in life. Everybody's on their own walk with God. Everybody's on their own walk with whatever. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're ahead of people. Sometimes you're way behind them. Like, I will never be as good as some of the men in my church, I feel like, that are like holy, and they know Bible verses, and they know this, but I'll never be as good as like some of the guys in my gym. But if I keep trying, I can get close, you know. And that's a personal goal I set for myself, is to get better in jiu-jitsu and to get better and reading my Bible and stuff. You know, I've been reading the Bible almost every day. And I'm probably going to read it after I record this. And I know in the next half you're going to say, he's talking about God, but he wasn't like, you know, he didn't seem very godly in the next half. It's like, yeah, but I'm trying to become the guy that I'm supposed to be. But like, literally, dude. And yeah, it's kind of getting hot in here. I'm not going to lie. I might turn on the air conditioner. So yeah, there's that. I'll be right back. Sorry about the noise in the background, but hey, I had to turn it on. It was starting to get a little crispy in here. Crispy. You know? But like, that's what I'm saying though. It's like, it's easy to change, like, to be a better person, but it's also easy to be a bad person too. But like, you got to like take life as it is. And to me, I want to be like, yeah, I've changed, but I want to be someone my mom and dad are proud of. I want to be someone that my friends are proud of. I want to, and especially since my friends are all progressing around me, I also want to progress. It's always good to surround yourself by progressive people. That's why when I was going to church and jiu-jitsu, I was so much happier, because I was progressing in both, and I was surrounding myself by great men and women that were, doing their respective arts. You feel me? And I literally didn't think that was going to be, a big problem for anybody, and I just think that's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? But like you have to like realize that like people don't want you to change sometimes. Sometimes they miss the old you because you were easy to be used, you were easier to be, it was easier for them to comprehend you because they're on that same level too. They don't want to step up. But if you surround yourself by people that want to step up, then you're like, okay, now I kind of want to step up. And I think that's what's happening with me, because I'm like, dude, I'm so sick and tired of being poor, and I'm doing this and this and this and this. I really need to step up. And I'm seeing my friends step up. I'm seeing my family. I'm seeing all these people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really getting interested in different things in life. And I really want to invest for my future as well. But like, because I literally want to be that 60-year-old black belt that goes to gyms and just surprises people. You know what I mean? And I also want to be like, like knowledgeable in God. And like just knowing that like I'm on my way to heaven, but also having an awesome skill. And like, it's just like when people talk trash to me or whatever, and I just stare at them now, I'm just like you don't know, bro. Like, like online, on the Bell County mugshot page, like I always say something, and I should have said this, but this kid came in, he's like, you should gain more weight. And I was like, yeah. I said, thanks for the advice, bro. It is getting cold outside, and I kind of want to get some more weight on me so I don't get too cold. Thank you for the advice. Instead of like arguing with this kid, because his mugshot was up there and he looked like Jeffrey Dahmer. And yes, I did say, you look like Jeffrey Dahmer, bro. And he got mad. He didn't care that everybody said he looked like Harry Potter. He's like, yes, I did look Harry Potter. Oh my gosh. But it's like, stuff like that, man. Like, people always try to take jabs at you and stuff, and the easiest way to become like, a better person is just to kind of just walk away from that, man. And, I know I've changed, because the old me would have literally argued with these people. I would have literally roasted this person to the point that they were rethinking their whole entire life. Like, why is this fat guy roasting me? You know what I mean? Like, first of all, it's like, because it's really insulting, I mean, because I used to be hateful, bro. I remember walking through HEB in Killeen, and I'm like, get away, fat ass. And it'd be like some scrawny woman that's like, look like she's anorexic. She's like, well, maybe I shouldn't get these chips, like, and I'm like, yeah. Because could you imagine me calling you fat? Could you imagine me, walking up to you like, you're fat, It's not it don't feel good. That's what I'm trying to say. But like, I'm changing for the better, I feel like. And I feel like these people like that don't want you to change, bro. And I know a lot of people that go through this. If you're like, especially like if you're like getting clean off drugs, or if you're finding a new hobby and you're being happy with your life, and there's always a guy, there's always somebody from your past that's gonna be like, why don't you stay the way you are? It's easier. Why don't you stay the way you are? I remember on my old podcast, The Morning Beer, episode 92, I think it was 92, it was with my buddy Nico. He had such a great outlook on life. And I remember I listened to that podcast last night, because it's been like 4 or 5 years since we did it. But it's like, I remember I had my buddy Nico from California on, and he makes food and stuff like that, and he was a young man, like he's literally like born in 96, so he's like Steven's age, and he literally had the best outlook I've seen on life. He's like, why everybody gotta hate and stuff? And I like the outlook he had on life as a young dude. And I'm like, dude, like, that's a good dude, man. And that's that's the kind of dude, that's the kind of people that you should be around. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I brought it up too is like, you guys go back and check that out, man. That was a good episode. I had my boy Nico on it, and I think about the years I had this podcast, and the years before I changed to the Derrek Ribera show, before I changed to the Morning D, before I started the Heavy Rollers with Steven. I've had a lot of great guests, and also like I had a lot of great times, and I'm very lucky to have these people in my life, because at the same time, when the devil sends people in your life, the Lord also sends people in your life to kind of counter it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, when the Lord's, saying He sent some people in my life in Killeen that made me, like, I really miss those people. Will I ever move back to Killeen? I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm probably going to make my life down here where I belong. But I do miss Brandon. I do miss Lurch. I do miss Nico. I do, of course, Nico ain't there no more, but, like, he moved off too to be more successful in life, in which he is. And I think about people with that great mindset and how far they have gotten since I met them. And I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for these people, man. Like, in order to progress yourself, you also gotta be happy for other people. You can't sit around just hating on people. You can't sit around, oh, they got a blue belt before me. What the, nah, like, you can't do that. Or you can't sit around and be like, you know what? Yeah, he gets a luckier hand in life than I did. Well, then so would be it. Play the hand you were dealt. And, you know what I'm saying? If you, like me, I was born in the gutter, bro. And, you know what I'm saying? People always label me as a thug. People label me as a, like, as a punk. But at the same time, I use that, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, I'm not labeled as that no more. It's weird when you're getting old, because you're like, now you can walk through Walmart and no one's going to think you're going to steal anything. Isn't that crazy? like they don't follow me around Walmart no more. Like I used to, and I used to be in Walmart and stuff, and like they'd have like workers following me and codes on the big thing. Like my brother Brandon one time, he goes, because he worked at HEB, and he goes, dude, that code they just called out, that's for a theft, bro. He goes, I think they're watching you. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, because you were walking around over there, and you noticed the people were watching you, and they were saying stuff. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, that always happens. But that hasn't happened in so long, so it's pretty cool. That's why I know I'm changing for the better. You know what I mean? But I used to let people, like, talk down to me and tell me bad stuff, like tell me I was a bad person. And I never let it, like, get to, I never let it, like, I let it get to me. In other words, I let people think, and I was like, yeah, I am a bad person. I am a bad dude. But, like, don't ever let people talk down to you. And a lot of people that don't want you to change, those are the people that are trying to, like, keep you the same as you were. And it's not their fault, you know what I'm saying? But, like, because they miss the old you. Everybody falls in love with, like, the old version of you. Like, I fell in love with a woman when I was 30. And then when she came back in my life when I was 35, I was in love with the 30-year-old version of her. You know what I'm saying? I was in love with the chill girl. You know what I'm saying? Not the one she became through life in the last 5 years. And so I was like, dang, bro. And so that really messed me up for a minute. But it's like that's what happened to us, because I didn't want her to change, because I was scared that, you know what I'm saying, she was, just, you know what I mean, I would never have a chance with her. But I'm glad I don't. I'm glad that everything happened the way it happened. But it's like, bro, everybody's like that in a way. Because everybody's scared of change. Everybody's scared of, like, and I'm not talking about that Obama change where he, came into office and made everything easy for gay people. What I'm saying is like, I'm kidding, guys. I'm talking about how, like, we literally will go through that, man. And we will literally go through, like, changes in our lives, and it's up to you for it to change you for the better or for the worse. It's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. And, you know what I'm saying, like, if you can go through something in your life and you're like, well, God, I might as well get back on drugs, because my life sucks. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, maybe you should try a different maneuver. Maybe you should try, okay, I messed up here, and this is what happened, but now it's time for me to be, be a man. And it's time for me to stand up, But yeah, that's kind of one thing I want to talk about anyway. Because, yeah, like, when that dude told me I changed, it's like, it kind of hit me a little weird. And I was like, what do you mean, bro? Like, he's like, you don't want to go out no more, you don't want to do this, you want to do that. And I was like, damn, okay. But, like, in all your real friends, they're happy you changed. They're like, heck yeah, dude, I'm so glad you're not a drunk no more. I'm so glad you're not a drug addict no more, dude. Like, I mean, always will be an addict, I guess, but, like, I'm so glad you're not that dude no more, bro. Anyway, where we at? So anyway, guys, I was going to talk a little bit about the news too, like how I know last time I spoke about Bad Bunny being on the Super Bowl. There's now I think there's now like a petition going around And people are saying they want George Strait better than Bad Bunny. And people are signing it. But look, it's what you got to realize. Bad Bunny sucks. No, I'm kidding. No, like it's what you got to realize, man. The Super Bowl has never been able to cater to football fans, you know? So, yeah, most of the football fans that watch the Super Bowl are probably more into George Strait than they are Bad Bunny. I hate to say it. Liberals get mad, and for some reason, Bad Bunny is representing the liberals now. But he is like he's not what football fans like. That's what I'm trying to say. And look, maybe he is. I don't know. Most football fans I know would rather hear George Strait. But hey, I'm not for any of them because I don't really watch the Super. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in like 2 years. That's why I watched it was like 3 years ago when Rihanna was on there. I think it was 3 years ago when Rihanna was on there with them, and she was wearing like all red and stuff. And it's like, yeah, this is a demon seance. Yeah, I always take their seances, because like it seems too good to be true to have Janet Jackson's titty bouncing out. Y'all remember that back in the day when Janet Jackson's titty came out? That was when the Super Bowl halftime show was good. We saw a little bit of chocolate titty. And I enjoyed Janet Jackson's titty with all my enjoyment. I really did. I enjoyed that titty. That was a nice, great titty. I like titties. Okay? I'm a man. That's what I do. Christ, man. But it's like, you were talking about God earlier, and I talking about Janet Jackson's chocolate titty. Yes, I am. I like titties. It's hard to tell you I like titties and I'm a lesbian. All right, that's just me. I'm part of the LGBT barbecue community. I'm a lesbian and I like titties. I love titties and beer. Titties and beer, titties and beer. I thank God Almighty for titties and beer. Hunting two-legged deer. Thank God I ain't queer. That's one thing Daddy likes, and that's titties and beer. Like you remember that song from my childhood from Rodney Carrington, the dirty comedian that I would listen to because my parents listened to him really loud. Really loud. Like I remember one time my stepdad was listening to him, and he was washing a car, and all these people were walking by looking at us. But it's still pretty cool. Rodney Carrington's still pretty hilarious. But he actually, I think it was really him. It was like his profile on TikTok. And he was like, "You're really funny. Keep up the good work." And I was like, comedians tell me that I'm funny. Yes, it happens all the time, honestly. There's some comedians I think I'm funnier than. That's just me. I haven't been funny in a long time, man. Long time ago. I don't know what I was going to sing there. But yeah, I like titties up here. But what I'm saying is, like, the Super Bowl halftime show was fun. Now it's a bunch of demon seances. Or Kendrick Lamar was rapping on. So, what happened to Kendrick Lamar, man? He used to be good, too, back in '09 or something like that. Was it '09 when we listened? No, it was like 012 or 112 or 12. '09. I don't know. It was a long time ago. We used to listen to Kendrick Lamar like pretty hardcore. When I had my stinking Lincoln, big '94 town car, fucking cruising down the street, screens in the dash. Yeah, you know me, dog. I'm saying that was back in my gangster days, bro. I'll tell you. Anyway, 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 I got a little distracted. Anyway, 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 anyway. Titties and beer. Now, titties and beer, bro. I tell you, I just want some big old titties in my face and a beer. And a beer. I said that. But anyway, I'm trying to be better. That's what I'm trying to say. But now, so anyway, what I was trying to tell you, before you interrupted me with titties and beer, I was trying to say that the just the Super Bowl halftime show has not been for men. in a long, long time. It hasn't been for dudes. Anyway, it hasn't been for dudes in a long time, dude. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Because mm, 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 it's, I think like just Jay Z run it. Like I don't know, who. Let me look this up for a minute. Let me look up on my phone. Let's ask Gemini. One that always listens to me anyway. Here we go. Excuse me. It's taking a while to load this whole. Who owns the Super Bowl halftime show? I don't want to say who I think it is. Oh, I'll be damned. It says the NFL owns the Super Bowl halftime show, but it partners with Apple Music for sponsorship, okay, and production, and with Jay Z Rock Nation for certain and co-production. Rock Nation selects the performers under the guidance of Jay Z, who has held the role of partnership since the beginning of 2019. Oh, that explains why it's been sucking. Jay Z. Who would have thought? Who? And I was going to say that because I thought that. Who would have thought Jay Z is behind picking the artist for the Super Bowl halftime show? Now, folks, I try to tell y'all it was Jay Z. You know, Jay Z, how do I say this without pissing people off? I don't think he's that good. Or at least as a producer. I don't know. I mean, like, he's had some hits, don't get me wrong. But it's like, bro, you're just putting your little friends up in there, aren't you? He put Bad Bunny up there just because. Because you know Bad Bunny dressed all gangster and everything before P. Diddy and Jay-Z got a hold of him. Now he wears dresses. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to indicate that, hey, shish bobbed the Bad Bunny. I'm not trying to say they might have clapped his cheeks. Folks, I'm not saying this, folks. I'm really not. But what I'm saying is they might have clapped his cheeks. Because the dude dressed all gangster until he hung out with the following people. P. Diddy, Jay-Z. I'm not saying Jay-Z clapped his cheeks. We know P. Diddy did. P. Diddy was a cheek clapping sucker. Cheek clapping. Little straw from Mogul. Little people that told me the THC gummies too really sucked. I was like all over the world running around having a panic attack last week, a week before, almost died. That's why I don't do this stuff, guys. But anyway, P Diddy and Jay Z might have clapped those bunny cheeks, and guess what? He clapped those bunny cheeks. Clapping those bunny cheeks. Hopping down the bunny trail on Easter Day. They called him in on Easter Day. Ain't that horrible? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that really happened, but I'm just saying, like, you know, when he started hanging around those crews, all of a sudden he started wearing dresses. And now he's going to be on the halftime show probably wearing a dress. Like, whatever happened to not wearing dresses? You know, and like, look, I know the Scottish or Irish or wherever they are, you know, redheaded people, them kilts, right? What do they call it? Kilts. Skirts. Like kind of like skirts, but they're like manly skirts. That's understandable. I don't know how they did that either, man. You be rubbing yourself raw, boy. How? But like nowadays it's like a fashion to wear a woman's clothes. That's not right, man. It's not right. And I don't mean to be this guy, but no man that loves football. You already have like gay ass music when you're like literally, like when you're watching the game, they're like, "Girl, all the men are bad, yeah." All them pop songs all sound like that to me. They all sound like that. Girl, I'm a girl and I'm better than you. And I can't do nothing, but I'm better than you somehow. I'm better than you. Can't even fight. I can't even lift nothing. Can't reach the top shelf. Can't even stop leaving my hair bow stuff, my hair stuff, product on the counter in the bathroom. Can't stop doing that. Every woman I know does that. But go, I get grief for leaving the toilet seat up. They say piss on it. I'm, that's some more channeled anger that I have going on. And I'm trying to be a better person. I really am. I really am. Am. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm out there today, dude. I'm about to, anyway. Oh man. Ooh, what was that? My phone keeps turning on. It's like Gemini. It's like Derek. We just want to let everybody know. This weird person on Facebook hit me up. Where are you located? Where are you located? Fucking ask me weird ass questions like that, boy. Anyway, we were, but yeah, it's not catered to men, bro. It's really not. Okay, it's not catered to me. It's not catered to any of you guys listening. And look, I'm not hating on gay people either. Don't get all pissy. Oh God, he's hating on gay people now. You know, making fun of women and gay people, and you know, he's just a bad man. You know, I'm not bad. I'm not a bad man. You know, I'm me. All right, so shut up. So what am I talking about? I'm tripping out, dude. No, man. So so yeah, and that's what happened with Bad Bunny. Now he gets dancing on Super Bowl because guess what? On Easter Day, Pete Diddy and Jay Z tag teamed him. Okay, they clapped those cheeks. Not really. Don't take anything I say truthfully. But what I'm saying is people are trying to petition to put George Strait in there. George Strait's not part of that crew. They don't want George Strait in there. Okay, like Jay Z don't want George Strait up there. If he wanted George Strait up there, he would have had George Strait up there years ago. Jay Z wants football fans to enjoy Bad Bunny. Hippity hoppity, Santa's on his way, or whatever. That I totally messed up that whole Easter song. Hippity, it goes hippity hoppity. Easter's on its way, not Santa. Okay, but I literally am saying they don't want they don't want George Strait. You know, Jay Z's part of the. He's not really part of the elites. He's like a certain level of elite, where it's like he's part of the Illuminati, but like he's not like how I explain it. Like I think he is. This is what. This is so for studying purposes only. This is also for just me, like just because I know hardly anybody listens to this anyway. So it's just for me to like kind of like spit what I think is going on. Okay, so this is all a lie. So don't. I'm not going to kill myself. Because Jay Z is Illuminati, or supposedly people they say that online he's Illuminati, but the Illuminati's not even the top people. You know, they're not even on the top, bro. I mean, they're maybe number three in charge, but they're not like they're not like the elite. He's not really that elite, but he's elite enough to be elite. Like he's elite enough to be like hey, I can show y'all what kind of music I like instead of what you guys like. So we're like, okay, like that's how elite he is. And Jay Z, what I'm saying? Like he took a lot of blood oaths, bro. I'm pretty sure. So like these guys are out there doing their thing, bro. If they want somebody on the Super Bowl halftime show, that's who's going to be on the Super Bowl halftime show. It's not going to what you guys want. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's going to literally be some poor bastard that Jay Z, P Diddy, and Oprah gangbanged. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be some guy that got his cheeks clapped, and he earned that right because he let them clap his cheeks, and so he's the one that had to go through the struggle of not being able to sit down. You know, you know what I mean? Like so, and Michelle Obama, she also double teamed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just making up names now, but no, I'm so stupid, bro. Hillary Clinton was there too. Rub her nipples. For real? No, I don't know. No, that didn't happen. No, that didn't happen. Chill out. But no. Could you imagine them just like eating Bad Bunny. After he gets done with the Super Bowl halftime show, but like they they made it. He earned his way to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like he had to do some pretty nasty stuff to get under Jay Z's and P Diddy and all them's radar. You know, you had to do a lot of nasty things. You had to be famous for them. You know, it's like I'm never gonna be famous because I'm not gonna like ever do that. I say that. But I ain't gonna lie, they have a lot of money, but they don't even give you a choice sometimes. So it's like, ugh, you know. But yeah, man. And so like that's, but I just thought that petition was funny, you know, because I thought that petition was pretty hilarious. And they wanted George Strait up there, which would be cool to see. I'd really see George Strait like sing a song about the heartland, only place I feel at home, so it's some good music. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't mind seeing that, or like I wouldn't mind seeing like Tupac or something. But I'm not trying to and I think a lot of people like what I'm gonna do is if I go somewhere to watch the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna watch it at home. I'm not gonna tune my TV to the Super Bowl anyway because it's not gonna be teams I like, and plus it's not anything I like anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because the Super Bowl is literally now just about like a bunch of like men just distracting us from something that's really going on. And once you get older, you start to realize that you're like, oh crap, the Super Bowl crap is literally like what they did to the like in the Roman days. You know what I'm saying? Like these football games and these soccer games and all that crap. And like saying like everything you watch on TV pretty much nowadays is literally to kind of keep you away from wanting to learn more about like, okay, what's going on in Gaza right now? You know what I'm saying? Or like they damn, I'm stuttering. They will teach you they want to teach you to stay distracted and stay away. So that's why they have the Super Bowl. That's why they have everything. And we're also a part of a dying empire. Well, we were our great America's greatest years, sadly, are behind. I hate to say that because like I love this country so freaking much, man. Because we're the only country that I could do a podcast for saying that. If I lived in Cuba, I can't say Cuba's way best years are behind it because they would kill me. If I lived in like China, it's the same thing. So I love America because I can say this stuff to you guys. But I also love people. And I love my people. But like I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks. It's horrifying because you want to be you wanted to be I don't know what that is. You wanted to be you wanted to be great. And that's what they sell you on TV. Oh, the Super Bowl, Eagles won. What a great time for being American. And everybody's happy. But they want you to kind of keep on watching the same TV shows. Like, oh well, I gotta hurry up and get home and watch Big Bang Theory, you know, or whatever. I like Big Bang Theory. I'll probably watch it tonight. But what I mean is, they want you to keep watching these shows, man, and they want you to keep like being mesmerized and like their game shows, like the Super Bowl, like college football, like anything you watch on TV nowadays. It's like just to entertain you, to keep you enough occupied so they can do what they got to do, or so they can keep on being dirty. And they're also gonna get on TV and tell you how you should think, and that's what they do. They'll get on TV allegedly. They will get on TV and be like, hey, you know what? Derek Rivera is not a good dude. He might say on his podcast to live your life and find goals, but really what he's trying to tell you is that you shouldn't watch our TV shows. And since you can't watch our TV shows, you won't be entertained. Eric Rivera don't want you to be happy. He wants you to be miserable. And they'll tell you that, and you're like, dude, Eric Rivera's a piece of crap, dude. And really, what I'm trying to tell you the truth. I mean, so like they control the way you think, they control what you watch, they control how you feel. It's crazy. And like you can like literally like live your life and and be so distracted. People go their whole lives without knowing what's really going on. I don't even know completely what's really going on, but I do know that like a lot of things they say on the news are not what's really going on. And so that's what the whole idea of the Super Bowl halftime show is. Jay Z's going to find something that will keep you entertained. It's pretty nice. It's nice being entertained. You know what I'm saying? It really is. But like he's going to find you something to keep you entertained while this goes on, while our empire continues to fall and we're not panicking. See, if we wouldn't have had all these distractions and a lot of people and more people saw past those distractions, we would all come together, and they don't want that. And we'd probably try to save our country. They don't want our government does not want us to save the country. They're shut down right now. You know, they're shut down right now, and they're still giving money to Israel. Like, like that's the kind of stuff that that people don't realize. They're going to cut off food stamps next month for people I know that can't even work. Do you like? Do you know how crazy that is? Like, people can't work. Some people can't work. I got friends that are in wheelchairs, and like you know what I'm saying? Like I got people that can't like physically and cannot work, and they depend on food stamps. And but as long as we're giving money to Israel, we're good. I got to take the top off because the straw is not long enough. No, like they don't ever have long straws over there. But that's something to think about, you know. And I guess that's very liberal of me. I don't know. I mean, I don't get food stamps, and I shouldn't really care. I I work for my food. We don't get that stuff here, but and a lot of that's benefits coming from me. But still, it's like when your life depends on something, the government. This is how much they really care about you. Now you know because they're shutting down. They shut down. They're still giving money to Israel, but they don't care about their people. That's um that's crazy to me. That's insane. And meanwhile, everything's going on, and people do not know this. People don't know. I didn't even know the government shut down for a couple of days after it was. Because I took a break from the internet, and I took a break, and I took a break from all the memes and everything, bro. And everybody's like, the internet shut, government shut down. I almost said internet. My internet was messed up yesterday though, and then come to find out, like another one of my buddies was like, because this is one reason why also I need to take a break from the internet sometimes. Because one of my buddies was like, China was hacking cell phones in America, and a lot of my stuff was doing the same things where it wasn't working. And I'm like, dude, we gotta chill the fuck out. That's so stupid. But I don't really know what else to say today on this podcast, man. But I do want to know one thing: is like, if you collect anything from today's episode, man, just know that um, you know, change for the better. Because I know I had someone tell me, I changed and stuff like that, and I changed for the better, and they're still not at this level in life, or maybe they never will be. Because a lot of people, like, we go through levels in life, man, and it's like a lot of people won't ever get to your level, but you also won't get to a lot of other people's level. You get my drift? Like, people live different lives. We have different paths. We walk with different walks with God. We're doing our thing, right? Well, my thing is, like, literally, I'm just going to focus on myself. But if you're changing for the better, it's not. That's not being fake. Because somebody kind of said I was fake for changing. It's like, or it kind of indicated I was, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I changed for the better, bro. I no longer get drunk and fall asleep in someone's front yard. You know, I no longer pee myself when I'm drunk. I no longer, like it's stuff like that, and I no longer do dope and stuff like that, or do drugs, or I'm up all night and stuff. What are you talking about? You know, but like, and I don't no longer party or party alone, or have to prove to the world how much of an alcoholic I am. I do that. I get on Snapchat and be like, drink another beer, or I be taking shots with my boys or some shit. It's just like idiot. Morning beer. Another morning beer podcast. That's kind of how I started. I based that morning beer podcast on that. Was like literally one of the like sections of that life. I literally lived that morning beer lifestyle. Talking about. I literally would literally be drinking like crazy. Bro. It was pretty crazy. But I forgot what I was going to talk about today too. Like I might be ending the podcast pretty. I keep on forgetting that I'm on it. That's how it was last week too, man. Just everything was just kind of weird. You know, but like I can't wait till I just can't wait till thing like saying like where things start to kind of do what things do. You know, and like it we got to be cautious of the future. I know that for a fact because it's getting worse, man. And you go to like holidays or whatever with your family now, and it's just like like I can't stand to be around these people because they're they're just like changing for the worse, and when you're changing for the better, you start to kind of notice stuff like that. And people also would and people that are not willing to change, those are the kind of people, man, that will literally like what am I talking about? But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, what I'm gonna say is like those kind of people are literally the kind of people that would like try to drag you down too. You know what I'm saying? Like when someone's complaining about you changing for the best, those are the kind of people that would drag you through the dirt, man. They will. You got to make sure and dig deep down in your soul. No, like, I can't let this person drag me deep down. And that's sometimes why you like kind of stop hanging around with certain people, you know. And like that friend that told me I changed, I was like, bro, like changed because I had to, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I said it earlier, too. But it just bothered me, you know? It bothered me that people say stuff like that. Like, they want me to be that guy I was so long ago, you know? Because they miss having fun with me. They also miss, like, where they can use me, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that certain person was a kind of guy that's always, like, you know, wanting to, like, just wanting to borrow shit. And it's like, bro, well, come on, man. Like, oh man, come on, can I get $50, bro? Can I get $80? One time he's like, can I get $80? I was like, yeah. He paid it back eventually, but I had to like beat it out of him. It's like I had to literally and that's just kind of like dude would always kind of use people, and that's what they kind of miss. People fall in love with the old you, not knowing that the new you is like just what I'm saying? Like even better if they were ready to change. But some people ain't ready to change. No one's on the same path you are. And that's kind of what I've learned from that whole situation. That guy's he might not. I hope he makes it to where I'm at. I pray to the Lord. I hope he does. But some people will be 80 years old and still never be wise or still never be like like on a level headspace. I mean they can still be living in chaos. I know people that are literally like 70 years old living in chaos. You know, like I've seen it. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, how can you live like that? You're old, bro. What are you doing? Like, you're living in chaos, bro. And those are the kind of people that don't want you to change because they don't want to change. They're scared to change. They're terrified. They're terrified to become a better person. Like that's kind of how like I feel about that. These people are terrified, bro, and I know they are. So I mean that is what it is. But I know like We're like an hour in too. That's the crazy part. And you know what? I really hope that this podcast has been getting separated with like commercials and like ads on YouTube. And I know you're gonna get pissed off. You hear that, like, what, Derek? Come on! I thought you were against the ads on YouTube. I am, but I hope this is the funniest because like it's always these stupid ads. Like, have you seen the most creepiest ad I saw was like this AI girl. Like they were talking about how they're AI girlfriends or something. That was the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Literally creepy, bro. Creepy, bro. Too. But like it was so bad that it was just bad. Oh, that's my friend sent me a reel, but it was like and it's like literally like the chicks like, and they look like cartoon characters. It's the most creepiest thing to me, bro. Like I couldn't do it. Like I don't know why, and I hate those ads, and I hope people are getting plagued with them like I am. And then like since I'm an old guy now, I get a lot of Blue Chew ads. Like Blue Chew, we'll keep you hard. That's what their thing should be. Like if you have to take a Blue Chew, maybe it's time to stop, bro. Because like I said on the last podcast, my biggest fear is getting dependent on Blue Chew. Is getting so dependent where my Johnson don't even want to work without a Blue Chew. Because that's what happens when you get addicted to something. And I'm wondering if they're addictive. You feel me? Like because like when you get addicted to something, that's how it is. It's like you get to where you're so dependent on it. And like your life won't work out right when you're not on that certain drug. You know, because believe me, I'm an addict. I've studied this personally, and I would like literally Snapchat. I would literally, bro, just be like, I would do whatever I can to get what I want, And if like I wasn't happy unless I was high, so it's like okay, I only way to be happy is get high, and so then you get to the point where you're like depressed, man, and you're depressed, bro, just floating through life. Just imagine floating through life. Yeah, that's how I feel. But no, and then like I forgot what was I gonna say. Oh man, I just went blank. Um. Anyway, just floating through life, man. That's what you're doing. That's how addiction is. And you and like and you're so mad at the world. You're like, oh, I can be happy if I get high, do one more line or smoke a blunt or whatever. And you like, and then you're like, and that's how you get right. And that's kind of how like I'll be scared if Blue Chew got me. You feel me? It's like I've been there before in life. So it's like, okay, what if I'm one day want to live my life and be happy, but guess what? So I gotta take a Blue Chew to fuck. And you get in the bedroom, and you're like, I'm out of Blue Chew, and your wife is ready to go. She's been up, and instead she's got to get the two pool boys from the night before, and you got to watch in the corner. Wouldn't that suck? That'd be a horrible life, bro. Just watching your wife make love to other men as you sit in the corner because you're out of Blue Chew. Like, why, man? Why would you want to live that life, bro? Think about it. You know, I I wonder things, and so I don't want to get dependent on Blue Chew. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't want to get too dependent on Blue Chew. I don't want to get like nothing like that, bro. And I don't want to get like too messed up on stuff like that. I don't want to be addicted to it. And like they play these ads all the time, dude. Blue Chew, because you can't do anything as a man. You have to take a pill to be a man. It's crazy. That's crazy to me. Yeah, it sure is. But no, and then you live your life, you know. and there's always the ads, and I hope that's what's happening. Is these ads are always popping up every because I hate when I'm trying to listen to a podcast and I'm trying to enjoy it, and then also an ad comes up. It's like, oh, and then the podcaster will do an ad too, and you're like, come on, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, and YouTube's notorious for them ads. Like, why don't you pay for premium? Because I don't want to. I don't want to pay for premium. Have you ever thought about that? I don't want to pay some half a Jew some money, you know? Hard to tell you. I just don't. But, that's what I hope's happening. Everybody gets to hear, I see a Blue Chew ad in the middle of my podcast where I'm trying to explain the ways of the world to people, and all of a sudden, Blue Chew. Have you taken your Blue Chew? Do you put it in your butt? You throw it in the trash? I went to a little off subject. I went to a party one time. The dude had a bunch of Blue Chew in a bowl. And okay, it wasn't one of those parties. Chill out. I know people think it's going to go to like some weirdo party. No, I wasn't going to a weirdo party. And so, my buddy, when we left the party, had taken handfuls of Blue Chew and put them in his pocket. You know? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Blue Chew. Yeah, man. So, yeah. I don't even know what happened. I don't know what he did with it. I think he sold them, honestly. I want him, he probably sold them. And my boy's one of the people like he's one of my family members, but he's one of the people that like if he gets like a hold of like something that he can make a profit with, oh, they're all like that, honestly. Like most of my family's like that. You make a profit off it, we gonna like literally we gonna sell it to you. Oh, you looking for Blue Chew? Oh, they charge $5 a pill. I got it right now for 3. What's up? And bam, like we would still be making money. So like he stole those guys' Blue Chews, bro. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even realize it either. We got to the house. He's like, "Yo, look what I got! $3." I'm like, "What?" It was $3. I said, "I don't want one of the damn things, fool." He's like, "All right, man. Get them online for like $10." I said, "Whatever." But but yeah, man. It's the only time I ever seen Blue Chew in person, in the wild. Only time I ever seen Blue Chew in the wild. But yeah, I hope that's one of the ads that come up as Blue Chew. That's kind of what I was talking about like 6, 7 minutes ago before I got rambling on. I got to. Um, you know, guys, I just hope you guys are good, man, and I hope everything's going good. I hope you had a good Friday, good week, man. Good Friday. Hope you got paid today. Maybe you got paid. They're kind of fun, or you just like. I hope you enjoyed the Heavy Rollers podcast. Sorry about the sound. I tried my best. Tried my best. What can I do? You know, and but no. It's already getting dark outside. Well, when I'm recording this, when y'all are listening to it, I'll probably listen like at like 12 a.m. or something like that on Friday, or something like that. That's probably what I'll do to it, honestly. When I come in tonight, I'll lay down tonight. I'm probably gonna edit this podcast and release it like 12 a.m. on Friday morning. But I really hope you guys had a good weekend and hope you are a good week. And and look forward to the weekend, man. If you're off this weekend, try something new. I know a lot of people that are working. We can't try nothing new. We gotta be working. But especially this weekend, man. If you're off work, you're like, just like if you have some days off, try something new. Instead of sitting on the couch, man. Like I don't know why there's a whole obsession with making people sit on the couch and be lazy here in America, but just find something fun to do. Go hiking. If you don't have that, go for a walk or enjoy the fresh air while we still have it. And it feels so good out there right now too. Like it really does, bro. Like I go sit outside on the phone every night and just chit chat with my friends and stuff. It feels really good. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for thank you for listening on YouTube. Thank you for listening on Spotify. I'm still going to try to see what's wrong with Spotify. It keeps messing up. But the Spotify for creators, not Spotify. The Apple's messing up a lot yesterday. But so was my banking app and everything else. So I didn't really like to think too much of it. Because I had to fight that thing to release the Heavy Rollers podcast. I really did. But I hope you guys had a good week, man. Like I said, it's hard for me to say goodbye. It's hard for me to say goodbye. It really is. It's hard. Why is it so hard to say goodbye, especially for Latinos, man? We literally were like, just walk you outside telling you bye. Rednecks are the same way, bro. Like, for real, Latinos and rednecks, they won't let you leave. They'll just hold you hostage and tell you bye as they're walking you to your car, as you're backing out of the driveway. They're sitting on the hood telling you, all right, man, it's good to see you. And that's kind of how I am too. Like, I'll just start rambling about something and going on and on and on. And I don't even know what the heck's going on half the time. And I'm just freaking out. And I'm like, dude, that is insane, but it's not really that insane. But I'm like, you know how it is, just rambling on, all because I don't want you to leave. I'm so horrible at goodbyes. I really am. Really, 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 really am horrible at goodbyes.